the Rumble stream here. So I have this video backed up. Yeah, so my name is Mike San. I'm a persecuted Christian talking video. And I'm talking with government gang stalking, which is narcissistic abuse on an institutional level, government level. And unfortunately, I've seen several Christian ministries and pastors participate in this persecution program. Ralph Arnold, Andy Woods, Dulu Bible Church, okay, Tom Stegall, Pruitt Jones, Philip Borman, and these other teachers, so-called, that they have there. How have these people talked with narcissistic dog voice abuse in their videos, okay? Which means communicating veiled threats against me, gaslighting, things like this. Really despicable. So I've been targeted online by several Christian ministries. It's like after, like if I start checking out the YouTube channel, they start working with narcissistic dog voice abuse tags in there, which means like veiled, hidden, subtle, okay? So I can tell what they're saying. It could be like a veiled threat or gaslighting or something like this. So there's several Christian ministries that have been captured, and it's like a canceling board of Christ, just people with Christians. Jack's Max. So here's the list of Christians, real or fake, okay? People that claim to be Christian, present themselves as Christians, have ministries or teaching channels that have targeted for this gang stalking persecution porn. Jack's Max at the center, Robert Breaker, Ralph Arnold, Dulu Bible Church, and also Matthias, the Swedish YouTuber. So these are ministries that target for the government gang stalking persecution program. I'm gonna go live on my laptop on Rumble to Critical Mass Mike is my Rumble account. See? Don't forget to leave the like on the video and you think that's gonna trigger me. This is actually one of the tactics they used to try to trigger me because they're worried about my credibility, me having credibility, me being out here speaking the truth about things like this. And I'm like calm. So they want me to like crash out and get mad and start screaming and throwing stuff at the wall. So look nutty at them. And people, that's part of what they do. And one of the attacks I've actually seen is they come in, leave a like and remove it, and I'm supposed to notice. And it's something like weird, okay? I've noticed that too. I don't care about people liking and leaving likes, okay? I'm gonna keep speaking here. So I'm gonna go live on Rumble. So wait, we'll put this on pause for a moment. Here we go. And if you become a thought leader, you can count on these people talking you too. If you're a Christian, watch this. You can count on these people talking you too. So, and I am live on Rumble. My name is Mike Sa, and I'm a persecuted Christian targeted video targeted with government gang stalking of targeted videos. I've been targeted for more than a decade, which is same as saying 10 years, with this government gang stalking persecution program. And there's several Christian ministries that have participated in the targeting for the gang stalking program with narcissistic dog and abuse tactics in the videos. I think all is one of them. Dulu Bible Church is not a Christian ministry that targeted for this persecution program called gang stalking. Jack's Max 77 is not a Christian gang stalker, so-called perp. Robert Baker has started with narcissistic abuse tactics. And that's how the YouTubers run from the point on me. It's narcissistic dog abuse tactics. Whereas like let's say I subscribe to the Bible Church. Like today I didn't know it before, being a Christian on the video. The pastors will start working in narcissistic dog abuse tactics in the videos, which would be subtle, veiled, psychological abuse tactics. It can be anything from communicating veiled threats to gaslighting. Okay, I can explain it to you, and this kind of applies to a lot of target tactics, making sense of it. One of the ways that the target videos, like open. Well, put it like this, use myself an example. If I was a sellout gang stalking persecutor, and Tom Stegall, the Bible Church teacher, became targeted this program, was targeted video, and let's say he had a childhood trauma where somebody threw a glass of milk in his face, and then punched him in the mouth, something like this, and it's like a childhood trauma, and that happened when he was bullied in school, and then it's like he subscribes to my channel, and I'm a Christian gang stalker like they are, okay, and that is like explain it to you, and then it's like my handler tells me, okay, like in the next video, gets me to be like, yeah, I'm streaming, it's like, yeah, some people are Christians. They're so crazy and ugly that it's like they need a splash of milk in their face and a good smack on the butt or something like this. And to him, if you watch the video, he will know, oh, he's one of these gang stalkers. He worked in a reference to a childhood trauma that I had, that the program knows about. And Mike got told to work this in to his video. And to other people, I do like a weird joke or a story or something like that. See? It was like, yeah, some Christians are so naughty. They should get a splash of cold water in the face and wake up. Okay? Or maybe a glass of milk. See? It'd be kind of like a corny joke, but it's like the point is like making this person feel abused. Okay? And to other people, it just looks like the pastor's cracking a joke or using an example, an analogy to talk about something. See? This is part of it. This is how the talk works. Okay? And then it doesn't have to be childhood traumas, but that's one of the target tactics. Okay? It could be emulating the body language or abuse, like playing out a scene. It's like in the body language. It'd be something happened to you as a child. It'd be like either the dress, they would wear something that the abuser wore, or use words or like mirror the abuser that abused as a child in the body language or the expressions of that. This could be part of like how they talk. Okay. So, and it doesn't only have to be like childhood traumas. Okay. But that's one of the types I have. Okay. So, this is narcissistic psychopathic abuse. Okay. So anyway, that's the point. It can also be something else. It's not only for targets individuals. Making references to things, making references to the target's private life. See? Just myself for example. If I was a gang stalker, Tom Seagal was being told, and part of the target is being spied on, listen to your phone calls, you look what you do on the computer, they know what you're watching. You know how on YouTube I have like a watch list. It's like history. So it's like if I watch a stream and I forgot to subscribe to the channel and hit a like, something like this, next I go like watch history. And I go, oh, yesterday I watched this video on like how to make coconut milk or something like this. Okay. They understand, and I can find it in my list. It's like they have the same access. And as a matter of fact, on that topic, in technical, the level of surveillance is not like once a month the government gang stalking program sends like a letter to my ISP, and it's like the FBI equivalent, and like demands my browsing history, and goes like, oh, September 12, 0640, visited this website. No, it's real-time surveillance. Which means if you watch my streams on YouTube, so they play video games, they're screen sharing, and they're showing, so you're seeing in real time what the YouTube is seeing on the screen when they play video games. It's that level of surveillance that they have on everybody. And that's not a thing on that topic. I hold to the fact, okay, I believe that everybody's been spied on, okay? So you don't get paranoid if you like said that talk the video, an email, talk to them on the phone, like now they spy on me. They spy on everybody. The difference is that you guys know they're being spied on, because the program spying on target videos will utilize intel that the government target through covert surveillance to customize psychological warfare, see, to target the person. Which brings me to my next point. What is another narcissistic double abuse approach to videos? Let's say I end my stream right now, okay? And remember, they listen in through your microphone and can watch me. So it's like if I turn this off and leave it there, they'll be tapping into my front camera, looking at what I'm doing. Or possibly, like if it's not like real time, high resolution, like they take a picture every 10 seconds or something like this, okay? They tap into my microphone and listen to what I'm saying. So let's say I end this live stream, and it's like, I have like a fart. I start like farting or something like this. And like falling up a storm, and I go to the bathroom and have diarrhea crap. Okay? Especially if it's something they think that you're embarrassed about. And when idiots like Jackson like hear me talk like this, they think that it means I'm sensitive because I'm talking about a topic. Which is the opposite of the truth. If I was sensitive and triggered when this was a button to push, I wouldn't bring it up. It was something like, oh, I'm telling them, this is ridiculous. But that's one of the things that they might do is like some of them go, because they have a devalued version of the target too. Because I inspire narcissistic envy in the targets, and they have a need to devalue. That's part of dehumanizing the victim too. So if you're going to do atrocities, like wicked things to a person, you need to think they're witch. And you need to tell yourself the person witch. Because if the person is not a wicked demon creature, you doing what you've been doing to them would make you a really wicked evil creature. See? And I thought about this too, analyzing this. It's like the program works to, like, we want to do this, like, level of evil, okay, to the target. And the more evil they want to do, the more evil they need people to think that you are saying. So it needs to match that. So it's like, well, we want to be able to have people like spray chemicals on the target in the supermarket, like poison. Well, to be able to do that, we needed to think the person's like a cannibal that wants to like abduct the children and like chop them up and eat them like a Hannibal Lecter or something like this. Okay. Now, if you could get people to think that's what the person is, it's easy to get them to go along with spray chemicals or something like this, or help out and try to make you have an accident around the public, which I've also had. This problem is not just narcissistic abuse. It's not just psychological warfare. That's like the bulk of the targeting that a target notices is going to be psychological warfare, narcissistic abuse. It's going to be harassment. It's going to be what's called narcissistic dog abuse types. Narcissistic abuse, okay? And mostly dog listening, which means it's covert. It's subtle. It's hidden. So the target can detect the abuse, or you wouldn't feel abused. But the masters can't. And this is also called a dog hole, where they can work to be like target on the stifle of others, not love to target on the stifle, push the bottom from the stifle of others, baiting you, provoking you to respond to covert aggression with overt reactive aggression. And then you appear to be unhinged and a public person that's like angry, aggressive, and lashing out at people because they couldn't see the button pushing leading up to you lose your temper and lashing out to. Okay, I even had this once when I was live on TikTok as a tactic, and just to bring it out, it's like this is that type of stuff. When I was live streaming, and I was calm and like in a like not that work at mental state, and people appreciating and liking me and things like this and this and this. And it's like people come in like kitchen sink level attacks and check you're a filthy PDF document. Stop doing drugs, you filthy crackhead. You're so crazy and things like just like saying like the most like hurtful things you could try to come up with. Okay. And then like after like 30 minutes of being harassed by 30 people, something like a mob of people going and attacking me. So I felt like, my God, you piece of shit, you filthy whore or something like this. Okay. And then it's like the mask slips hard, which is like the gaslighting on top of it. It's like, yeah, exposed as a human having emotions. Okay. So it's like they basically like when you're enraged, lose your temper, and like temporary insanity, going mad from being targeted, meaning you're not yourself if you lose your shit, okay? But they'd be like in the inverse, it's like when you're calm and normal and like talking stream on TikTok, like yeah, so I'm exercising today. I like to do bicep hammer curls, and I took vitamin C before that helps me to have allergies or whatever. Okay, and just okay, and then it's like people come in, you're a filthy, but whatever, like kitchen sink like attacks, and then after like minutes and minutes of that. Is I find like lose my temper, like fuck you, you piece of shit, or something like this. And it's like the mask slips hard, as if they see me. I'm like faking being. So when you at your worst, that's the real you see. Like when you lose your temper and go mad and it's reactive abuse. It might even be abuse. Maybe somebody deserves it, like abuse you, and you go like you're a piece of shit. Maybe that's warranted, and not like it coming as abuse even. See, mistreating. If somebody punched you in the face, you punch them back. In physical combat, that's like justified use of force. It's not abuse. If you hit somebody unprovoked for a good reason, it might be abuse. Okay. Now, if somebody punches you, you hit them back. Is that abuse now? Okay. So whatever is the point. My point is this. So that's another result that happened from the gang stalking point that pays people to harass me in the chat because Mike is live on TikTok and we have to work to control its perception of him because we're afraid that people are going to believe him. Okay. So we need to attack his credibility and work to enrage him. And if he finally loses his temper, like, yeah, that's really the master sword. As if when I'm calm and not provoked, that's not my real self. But when I've been harassed for 30 minutes and lose my temper and like it's enraged, that's the real the gas that we're talking about. Anyways, the point. Door is part of targeting, where they work to deny, attack, or reverse victim offender, which means they will work to provoke you and harass you and target you. And then when you finally like lose your temper and kind of lash out, they will go oh, you're an evil person. You are the problem. You're an evil, angry, bitter person. Okay, see, you have a temper problem. I've seen it all. It's like from Christian ministries too, or in this, where they'll be like kind of response where they'll be like, yeah, you're an angry, bitter person. See, because you get harassed daily, and now and then you get angry at the harassment visibly. So you have a character problem of being an angry person. See, it's not that the problem is you being harassed every day, and people being harassed and not Jesus Christ Himself are gonna lose the temper and act out. Okay, eventually. The two is so much before. See, so like, no, you're the problem. Okay. And then they can have people, let's say next time I'm going to have a plumber come here, and the plumber recruits a plumber to be a fine monkey. And he gets told, space that our perfume before you go to Mike's house, because the users know that I'm allergic to perfume, okay? And then also, there's some trigger words that like has been a theme in the last podcast of fine monkeys to use this specific word around me, and it can be connected to some kind of gaslighting narrative or subtle solutions like this, okay? Like the program once communicates, we're gonna murder you, or something like this. But with a cyberstalk in the chat, we're gonna murder you. It could be something else that they do. This like, okay, this is cyberstalk confirmed. Work for the program, the behavior, okay. And then it's like, we're gonna take you out or something like this. And then like 3 banana emojis. And then it's like the next another account shows up. You better watch your back, like 3 banana emojis after that. And they get blocked. Next I go to the supermarket, a flying microphone will be a banana teacher while doing something else that's more than one of these people. And that will be, just a visual symbol, will be enough to remind me it'll be the same outcome as threading we're going to take out again, see? Like a visual. Just by showing the banana again, or 3 bananas, or like a guy eating banana while wearing a banana teacher might feel like, oh yeah, remember that thing. And that reminded me of a threat that opponents communicated to you before. So it could be like, use this visual to communicate a real threat by just showing some visual. And it's plausibly deniable and dismissible as chance. And then notice how if you call it out to speak the truth, you're a paranoid person. See, you're paranoid. This guy's paranoid. Why is he saw a guy in the supermarket with a banana t-shirt, and now he thinks he's a government agent who wants to kill him. Okay. So anyway, that's the point. Yeah, one of the target tactics the opponent uses, narcissist always use tactics to explain it to. It's like, I just talk about the fourth thing, okay? Now, there might be a better example. Here's a better example. Let's say I end this street, okay? And I call my wife, you wonderful, on a message video call, okay? And she's like, hey, honey, why is that? Well, my cat, I come home, okay? And it hit my car or something like this. And I go, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the program that took out your cat, okay? Because they can target pets, okay? And they can target loved ones too. Like people that are around the target can target you. They can target them, and pets. So, like, and even if it wasn't, okay, just for psychological damage, I go like, I would be surprised if it was the program that did this to kind of bother me, and okay. And then it's like next time I go to the supermarket, there's some people at the entrance of the supermarket as I'm passing, and like time to when I'm walking past, be like, yeah, you heard about Bob? His cat got killed, or something like this. See, and it's reference of that like 30 minutes ago on the phone, I was having some stress or anxiety or something like this about, I think the program might have hurt that cat. It's very subtle, and just the timing can be enough to make you feel tolerant. So the timing is part of it. Where it's like, another thing, they could do is, let's say I end the slideshow and I go and I'm like and I kind of humming a song as I see a song, okay, as I kind of like watching this, I'm gonna sing from the chimney, I'm gonna leave. And it's not loud enough for the neighbors to hear me, okay, but it's loud enough for the phone that I had in my pocket to pick up on what song I'm singing. And it's like I'm finished washing dishes and I get dressed, I'm gonna go outside to throw out the trash. And then it's like there's a car in the parking lot. There's like turns on the engine, like I'm gonna swing, and they have a CD with this song that I was humming like 17 minutes ago. See, where it's like a reference to something recently said, did, or watched in private. And it doesn't have to be a sensitive topic. Like it's like I'm humming some song whole band, or it's like a feminine song. It doesn't have to be the subject matter or content or the activity is embarrassing. It's just
It just that you will, just they will reference something you recently said or did in private will be enough to make you feel harassed, okay? Because it's a violation of privacy. Be constantly reminded this nefarious program that is out to hurt you is constantly watching everything you're doing in private and commenting on it, and also doing narcissistic gaslighting twists on it. Okay, see, gaslighting twists on it. So that, yeah, this narcissistic double abuse tactic is a big part of the target. And it's not only narcissistic double abuse tactics. Don't believe me, oh, it's just harassment, bullying. No, no, no. The narcissistic double abuse tactics is like the bulk of the targeting. Like the notice targeting day to day is like the narcissistic abuse, the harassment, noise harassment, all these different things. There's also physical targeting. Like food poisoning, being sprayed with chemicals when out in public. Covert entry is part of the where the program wants to gain entry to your private quarters when you're not home and be able to undisturbed contaminate environment, contact chemicals or poisons, uh, poison your food and things like this. Which is why I mean, people teaching up to us how to set up a budget uh, security system. It's not pie in the sky. See, it's something that most of our videos could be able to do. It's like feasible. It's within reach. It's not unattainable. It's not like a pie in the sky thing. But it's like, yeah, to stop covert entry, you need to go to this like Securitas or something. This is a Swedish security company, and you need to buy like the home security pack, and it has like sensors for the windows and 3 cameras that are down to the security sector, it's almost like in a call center looking at the CCTV footage, and in case something weird is sent like a call or something like this, and they're backing up the videos. And they'd be like, yeah, how much? Well, for the starter pack, it's like $900. No, $1,200, $1,200, and then it's like a $50 fee per month or something like this. And a lot of TIs are not like well off enough to be like that would be an easy thing to put money on. So this is like something. Is the beauty is that it's simple and it's effective and it's cheap. So the TI into like level 1 security system, it's all you need is a Android phone, access to the Google Play Store, which is the same thing as saying an internet connection. Okay, so an Android phone and the Google Play Store, and I had to learn these things the hard way by having covert entry and being hurt by it, and then having to figure out, improvise that overcome. Okay, and most times we never get to the point where we're able to be creative and uh, have ingenuity in this. So I had to be hurt by some target tactics before I figured out ways to block them. Meaning, it's like I had to be hit with and see that hot attack on a shotgun, something that caused damage, permanent damage. Could be a boss like failed assassination attempt. To be like, oh, this is another move the pro can hit me with. Okay, and now we need to figure out a way to make them unable to do the same attack again, or at least make it harder. Okay, and you don't want to have this be brainwashed by fake TI, fake like wolf in sheep's clothing. But if they want to kill you, they can do it anyway, and they're working to manipulate you into having a mindset of complacency, where you are complacent, and you like, because and that appeals to the flesh. That like tell you what you want to hear, because laziness is part of human nature. So it's like if I tell you how I live and recommend it to you, be like, you need to be doing this, stand on great procedures. Okay, you need to wear special clothes to make it hard for people to target you. You need to have a CCTV system. And people are, wow, there's a lot of stuff, okay? And now it's more likely they want to choose to believe a voice who's like, don't worry, they're not doing covert entry. If they do covert entry, it's just to mentally target you, okay? To make you feel messed with because you know somebody was inside your home, okay? And it's not to poison or anything, okay? The person has a voice for the program, okay? But yeah, this is something they have to worry about because if you really worry about it, you're more motivated to make it hard for them to do that to you, okay? So the real reason to do covert entry is not just to mentally target you, that make it feel, oh, I know they've been inside. Like they leave a Q-tip on your laptop, your notepad, or something. So you come home and oh, this Q-tip was the day when I left. They've been inside. And you're like, oh, I feel messed with. That's not, they only listen to do things like that. They go inside your home to post your food, drive your feet. or poison-free, contaminant like there's something called contact poisons, contact chemicals, where they can put something on the surface. This might be one part of my. It's like one of the most likely ways to try to murder me is to poison with fentanyl or something like this. See, and it accomplishes two things: it kills you, and then it's like discredits you because it's like, oh, he was on drugs, that's why he was talking about the gun method and stuff like this. And I didn't pull this out of thin air. One of the most common things that the cyber stalks in the chat from the right is like, you're on meth, this guy's on fentanyl, this guy's a crackhead, this guy's on drugs, stop doing meth, okay, tweaker. This is like some of the most common like attacks I get from cyber stalks in the chat. So that's one of many poisons they can use to target you. They can, there's contact poisons, contact drugs. Contact meaning you don't have to ingest it orally, or what, or like up your ass, or snort it, or smoke it, or something like this, for it to get in your body and affect you. It's like the things that you can put substances on your fingers that are absorbed through the skin and into the bloodstream. So that's called transdermal absorption, which is part of my health fitness coach, and I talk about how to get less toxins into your body per day, week, month. And I recommend not putting these chemical shampoos on the body because that's a toxin too. That was the point. Transdermal absorption is absorbing through the skin. So there's things that you can put on a door handle, and somebody touches it without gloves, and they're absorbing it through the skin, and it starts affecting them. Okay, that's a contact drug. So there's contact poisons, contact drugs. I mean, you touch something, you absorb it, and it affects you. So anyway, that's the point. Covert entry. Okay, so the solution is this. All you need is for the level 1. All you need is an Android phone, access to Google Play Store, and then you download the timestamp camera app. Okay, and then you start recording. So you plug in the charger, you start the timestamp camera video, filming the inside of the front door. And what that is the only feasible way to enter into the apartment without breaking an entry, without leaving all the sounds of breaking something. Okay, so you make sure that it's not easy to like somehow like Jimmy open the window and get open without like breaking the glass. It wants to be like obvious if they got inside. They had to like break something obvious to get inside. Okay, so you want to make everything else secure. So the only like reasonable, like feasible way for the point to enter or anybody else without breaking something is the entry exit way that you use. That's the one you use. So you have a timestamp camera, film the inside of the front door. Ultimately, have an analog clock in view. And okay, now on top of that, level 2 is recommended. You have a light stream on. So that's how I do it. If I'm gonna leave, I have a timestamp camera video filmed inside of the front door, and then I'm live like this from over here on my laptop, and I can obviously move it to another place. So that's a good system. It's live stream and other things. So it's a point. This world is controlled by satanic psychopaths, narcissistic psychopaths, which is why me being told people is like a daily where or the matrix, where the system, like people are controlled by system authority. So I get targeted by celebrities, influencers too. And I know that sounds crazy, but I said I got to call and say I'm not gonna mean sports like that. So I have said, well, I'm not dumb. I mean, I understand that it's like, that's not really helping my case to make you believe if I bring out these true details about the target. There's like celebrities involved. And if I subscribe to an influencer or to a sports athlete on Instagram, most of the time it's not like posting on the stories, it's technically short a story or something like this. So anyway, I'm a persecuted Christian taught little, I'm taught gangs, I'm taught little. And there's several Christian ministries, pastors, Bible teachers taught me. Do the Bible church itself, gang stalking church, persecuted. Rafi Arnold is another one. Jack Smacks 7. And Andy Woods, Robert Baker, Jack Smacks 7, Do the Bible Church, and Brandon Thomas. And it's more the
proven the exception because Jesus is what the Spirit told me. So, another way that I'm told with narcissistic abuse tactics is people that ages this neighborhood will get sent out to appear in view time to when I'm outside smoking, okay? It could be the same person. Like after a while, it's like you keep seeing the same person over like do you understand? The frequency is more than you could expect from chance. Like if I go out here, like off air, okay, before I saw the live stream, as I said this. So if I go out here smoking, it's like there's a woman that lives there. And then she has like a loud conversation on the phone or something like this, using trigger words. And then it's like another day I go outside. It's like, oh, this the same lady leaving again. And then acting weird, okay. And it's like there can be another person. Like a lot of times somebody will exit there, this person, and they will act in a way that matches like how the program will get flying monkeys back around me. It could be having loud conversations in bigger words. One interesting thing, and I'm not certainly not saying the neighbor on the same floor as me is a gang stalker, but on the top of like strange behavior in the neighborhood. Uh, one of the and like chance, okay. One of the ways I've been harassed by the program is like dehumanization is part of it. Now the behavior itself is dehumanizing, okay. But there was a time back when I was dealing with Ed and his followers, and they sent flying marks wherever you are. So sometimes if I'm a guest on another YouTuber stream, like Poon or stuff like this, there's people showing up in the chat, be like, yeah, this freaky, crazy, weirdo. Especially if I start talking about gang stalking. See, now we need to send people that this guy's a mess head, crazy nut job, stop doing crack, Mike, he's a schizo, something like this. Whatever they gotta say to that try to control people's perception on me, because I'm speaking the truth about something, getting the word out. So it's like, this falls everywhere, okay, real life and online. So that's the point. Okay. Where's I going with this? Yeah. So one of the target tactics is, for a while, they had cyber stalkers, where like when I was still commenting on Ed's videos, like a Christian Bible teacher. Okay, and there was this guy, was it Rob or something? But it was somebody. There was like, and on Phil, this other guy. So it's like where I was, he'd be like doing a smear campaign on me for the program. This guy was a gang stalker, cyber stalker, I believe, and be like, Mike is a Nephilim, not a real human. He's a serpent seed. It's like spawn of Satan. He's demonic. Also, that's dehumanization. So part of evil throughout history is like, if you look at the Holocaust, it's like, I'm a psychopath. I want to get the masses to murder, to turn on this minority group and murder them. Okay. Conducive to like achieving that desired outcome is dehumanizing the victim. Witch hunts. It's like, oh, it's the Middle Ages. I'm like the cult leader here in this little town, village. I want to like murder this woman here. It's like, hey, she's a witch, okay, working for Satan, okay, and your kid's getting sick in the village. Is this woman doing witchcraft, okay, casting spells on? And it's like the cold Caesar or something like this, okay. Yeah, she's casting spells, okay. See, she's casting spells. And now you want to like, oh, so if you can get the people to have a dehumanized view of the person, I mean, they're not a real human made in the image of God with a soul, okay, it's harder to get people to abuse them horribly. But so it's like, it helps, you want to do this, like draw on a person, be like, the person is a witch, doesn't have a soul, like they're a demon in human form or something like this, okay, a demon in human form, okay, a demon in human form. Okay, so anyway, that's the point. Yeah, so they did that to the Jews too. See, we want to target this minority group, not target individuals, so-called, but Jews. Okay, now what did they do before they start like slaughtering them? The Jews, anthropomorphic, where it's like a mix of a human and an animal. See, that's dehumanizing because it's more animal, less human. Okay, see, so. It's like a Jew. It's like it's made in the image of God. Okay, see. So it's like, oh, we want to get people to murder Jews, the Nazis. It's like propaganda posters where it's like a Jew that looks like a rat or something like this. The Jew is a rat. Okay, Achtung die Juden. Okay, it's like possibly like the Jew is a cancer of society that's spreading, and we have to cut this cancer out of the
the country for the greater good. See, this type of stuff. So it's somehow for the greater good. Somehow these are like intrinsically like bad and worse than average person, not fully human. Okay, it could be like the plague of Jews, the virus of Jews. See, that this type of stuff. Or if it's the Middle Ages and you're like a crazy person, want to get people to drown a person, a woman, like she's a witch, which means she's not like a normal human. She's more a demon than a human. See, she's a witch, and now you can get people thinking, look at this person like a witch, like some kind of demonic thing, and not a real human like everybody else. It's easy to get your little henchmen, flying monkeys, to like horribly abuse this person, even murder, drown them. Okay. So, where's I going with this? Viktor Frankl, he's a Holocaust survivor. He has a lot of quotes to his name. Man's Search for Meaning. He wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. A man that has a right to live can bear with almost any how. That's a Frankl quote. Okay, Viktor Frankl, Holocaust survivor. Another, and I had a small sense of accomplishment. I was able to quote it. So here's the point. To pull it off. So here's the point. Here's another thing that he said. He said that the best of us did not survive. Okay, his quote is saying that about the Holocaust camps. The best of us, the Jews, okay, did not survive. Which, without reading the book cover to cover, like everything is researching, it makes sense. Like critical thinking, you apply logic and reason. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see how that would be the case. So let's say you have a barracks in Auschwitz or Birkenau or Treblinka or Buchenwald, I think it was called Buchenau, whatever. They had several camps. Auschwitz, let's say, pick one. And they had these barracks there. And let's say they had 100 Jews in each barrack, in bunk beds. They didn't have them like a first-class hotel experience. They had the most efficient, low-cost, having people able to sleep or something so they can be energized enough to work hard for free tomorrow, okay, until they die. Do you understand? So that's the accommodations. It's like designed to not more than necessary. It's not designed to be comfortable. So the Jews, the best was not survive. So if you think this, you have like 100 people in this barrack, and if it's sword or not, okay, let's say it's like men in this barrack, women in this barrack, something like this. But let's say you have 100 men, if it was sword like that. You have a barrack with 100 men living there in this barrack, Jews, and you have like anything from like 50-year-old boys to 95-year-old people, okay, and less likely the older you are that you still be alive in there. That's the point. You're gonna have some people that before they got abducted by the Nazis and put here, they were carpenters, some people were lawyers, some people were like jewelers, okay, some people were whatever, like the professionals. Some people were writers, some people were this and that. Let's say you have a guy in there that's a Jewish rabbi, okay, and he's been a rabbi since he was a kid, or like trained to be. And his life has been like being a guy that other Jews look up to as an example of morality, like a good person, see? Where it's like, this guy is great, you go to rabbi and be like, hey, I got some issues, and be like, any help me out? So he's like somebody that teaches morality to other Jews, okay? Like how to be a good Jew, okay? See? And part of the Jewish system is going to be like the Old Testament law, thou shalt not kill, steal, things like this. So it's like stealing bad, okay? That's verboten. So it's like, do you understand? So a rabbi is going to be more likely to be like, do you understand? Like a die-hard, like right and wrong, okay? And he's been holding sermons or whatever the equivalent in the Jewish system in the synagogue is, to be like, don't steal, okay? It's evil to steal, okay? You shouldn't steal, especially not from another Hebrew, okay? Like another Jew. And it's very bad to steal. Like maybe he's taught on the sin of stealing and how evil it is before. And it's like a Jew is supposed to be good to his brother and things like this. Not defraud him, not murder him, things like this. Then, okay, and now he's in a Holocaust camp. And he's been like studying like the Torah, the Old Testament, and like this is a sin, don't steal, don't like do your brother dirty, okay? I mean another Jew. And he's been teaching morality and practicing it. as he said this, and he's in a Holocaust camp. Okay, I could see how a person like that would be less likely to be like steal like a potato from the Jew next to him if the opportunity presents itself. See, because he's stealing. See, so the best of us not survives, Viktor Frankl. So that makes sense to a guy like that. Like, let's say there was a Jew that was like a hoodlum Jew, meaning like an average sample of people, you're gonna have some people that were thieves. It's not like no Jew has done bad things. So you're gonna have at least one Jew in the barrack that was maybe a thief before he got abducted by the Nazis, or like a guy who was, I don't know, seeing hookers all the time or something like this, like having being more debased morally. Okay, now he's more likely because it's like these circumstances. He's already been outside stealing and cheating people, maybe like a street swindle or something like this, scamming people. And I'm not, you're gonna have this black people, white people, Swedish people. You have like 1,000 people, at least one thief in there, okay? Like a habitual thief, okay? So it's a point. Or somebody had a pyramid. So a person who's like a criminal that ends up in a Holocaust camp, he's more like has the skill set and psychology for like kind of maneuvering this environment in a way that serves him, see, narcissistically. So it's like against antisocial behavior. It's like another Jew is like going doing something. His potato is there. He takes it, and the Jew goes, "But where's my potato?" And it's like I don't know. Okay, see, and people that have more calories are more likely to survive because some of them starved to death. Like that's part of what killed them. Okay, so basically, a Jewish rabbi, it's easy for me to see how he's like less likely to end up stealing bread from another Jew. Whatever the food was like a potato uncooked and an apple or whatever they got. Okay, whereas like he's more likely to steal food from another Jew, less likely to steal food from another Jew. If he's a rabbi, it's like his life has been, his job has been teaching what's right and wrong from the Torah, like the Old Testament. And it's like, thou shalt not steal. So he said, it's like the 10 Commandments and everything else. He's like more likely to have qualms about like stealing from another Jew. See? And be like, I'm gonna trust God in this. I'm not gonna steal food from another person. Okay. I'm just gonna like, pray and trust God. He's more likely to have that response to be like looking to defraud other Jews and steal from them. So Frankl said that the best was not survive. And if you think about it, even while reading the book, it's like, yeah, okay. If Jewish rabbi in the Holocaust concentration camp, I could see how they would be less likely to steal food from another Jew. And if you're in a Holocaust camp, malnourished, you're more likely to die, okay. And if you go down to like being like the guy who does the autopsy, but it's like if a Jew collapsed in the Holocaust, okay, digging ditches, okay, and it's like they collapsed and died, okay, over heart attack or something like this, whatever. It's like the actual like end thing that is like broke, okay, heart attack, something like this. Well, they most likely wouldn't have had that like collapse response and like just pass out and die if they hadn't been malnourished, okay, for a long period of time. See, if they were well fed, they probably could deal with a few more days at least without having this. Okay. So anyways, the point. Yeah, Viktor Frankl said the best of us did not survive, which means if I look at things from natural, because I haven't sold out to the program like fake TIs. I believe some TIs start out being real TIs and then turn fake, like a capo Jew. See, like a capo Jew. They say that's the worst insult a Jew can say to another Jew. Call him a capo. Okay, so capos were like a class of Jews, where it's like, and this is like the Jew. It's like Jews. It's like a type. See, you do like type stuff, typology, something like this. You have like a Judas is a type. This is even used secularly by people that are lost. So you say Judas, a guy who betrays a close person, someone close to them, see, for some kind of benefit. Okay, generally, like loosely there. So you also have like a Judas, a couple. So what is a couple? A couple Jew. What was a couple? It was like you had the masses of Jews being horribly abused, and then some Jews got like a job to do certain tasks for the Nazis, and they were given preferential treatment. And the coppers might do things like rat out other Jews. Like let's say got a work line digging ditches or something like this. And then the coppers like this a Jew that's like kind of looks like he's working slow and be like, hey, that the Jew, this third one from the left, he's working slow, okay. And then comes like the SS guard and like hits him with the butt of the rifle or something. It's work fast or something. Next time you get shot or something. For real, okay. So this type of stuff. Or dragging the corpses of deceased Jews from the gas ovens, for example, might be a copper's job. Or maybe like pulling gold teeth out of their mouth or something like this. But that the Nazis wouldn't have a problem with it, and like doctors in the camps, like Mengele or something like this, Joseph Mengele, aka the Angel of Death, they probably would have qualms about doing things like this. Like, oh, I can't do it. But it's like it's something that's kind of like picking dog poo or something like this. Do you understand? It's not about that they would have like be squeamish about it, okay? But it more like it's like cleaning toilets. See, it's cleaning toilets is something most people would prefer not to do. So, corporate Jews were like during the Holocaust that helped the Nazis in ways, targeting other Jews. So that basically would apply like a couple to any person that's like a target individual, ex-TI, that switches to work for the program and now helps target other TIs. Okay. And what this leading is like possibly certain one or more TS that is like is this type of person that due to what I've been talking about at this point is like I can't really get into. That's the point. Anybody that starts out being a real TI and then starts working for the program, you're like a cop with you, okay, more or less. If you're talking about I recommend you to read the Viktor Frankl Man's Search for Meaning book before you read the Bible and get saved. Okay, that's the one book you should read if you're talking video to make sure that you're good to go into eternity. You're ready to go, and you're not going to hell and then like a fire for eternity after you die. Or if you get saved and you're still targeted. It's like it's like if you're gonna read a book, that might be one of the better books to read. Okay. And then argue for that. Like, why would that be a better book to read? Well, human psychology, people appreciate works of art more, or history. People using art. People appreciate works of art that are relatable to them a lot of times. Which means like a woman who just suffered a breakup is more likely to listen to breakup songs and like sit and cry and things like this. And somebody that's been going through adversity is more likely to appreciate a song that deals with like the lyrics of suffering adversity, overcoming it or not. See, so anything, fact or fiction, that deals with a situation similar to yours can be more interesting. Okay. So I support. I've been taught it for more than a decade, and I'm in better shape than most people are. That's not a testament to God's power, because I'm ripped with a six-pack, and I perform at a high level mentally and physically, to the point where people accuse me of being on drugs because my performance appears to be enhanced, I guess. Okay, so it's like, oh, Mike, you're on some kind of drugs. So you know you made it when you're doing so well that people have a hard time believing it. Yeah, so Protocol I get in the neighborhood are these people, same time like Exodus call, where some people will be sent out to like appear in public, and the timing and the frequency is about statistical probability, and the behavior. It's like you'll be in denial to deny the freedom of calling. Okay. Now, getting cookies from Luke here, so that's how the framework drop. Where is the point? Oh yeah, okay. So here's an interesting thing on the topic of the neighborhood and the attention war. So there was a period of time that I remember when I was still kind of like active in comment section of other Christian channels. Now I produce more content and consume and I communicate with other people like writing comments and things like this. A lot of times I end up getting blocked. Like I didn't get blocked on Ed's channel for like threatening anybody or doing something like that. It's just disagreeing with him. See? And reproving his errors and him feeling possibly threatened by my superior, being superior in competence and knowledge in other ways, like envy. Okay, that's my analysis. Anyways, the point. But here's the point. So back when I was commenting on this guy called Phil, okay, from Australia, I think it was. And Ed, okay. And he's gonna make a video and engage in the comment section. And there was a guy who was a cyberstar, I believe, who worked for the program. And he was sent in, one of the things he started doing was work to dehumanize me. Like Mike is not a real human. He is a Nephilim serpent seed, like spawn of the devil. Like his bloodline is of Satan, okay? He's a Nephilim, like a serpent seed. And it's like he doesn't have a human soul. He's not a human, he doesn't have a soul. He's a Nephilim serpent seed, meaning of Satan. Okay, I knew. Okay. I was like grandson of Satan or something like this. That's the point. And there's a guy called Elliot Schumann who's responsible for putting out this type of garbage. And this type of itching, at the time of comedy not endure our doctrine, but after all lusts shall the Hebrews have teachers having itching ears, and shall be turned away from the truth of the faith or something like that. The Bible talks about this. So that type of stuff is rapture speculation. Okay? This is like itching ear type stuff. Rapture speculation videos. Who is the Antichrist focus? Was like it's Donald Trump, the Antichrist and videos and everything. Or this guy is Macron, is the Antichrist, okay? He is the Antichrist. The things that this is not teaching this, he is the Antichrist, okay? The Antichrist, he is the Antichrist. The rapture speculation, more breaks and videos like that. Or something. And he's like a lonely corpse of it. Where it's like he wants to be able to give the impression that if you click his video, you might be able to figure out what day the rapture is going to happen specifically. But he doesn't want to be able to be like called out as a heretic. He's like working to get people to think that they can learn what day the rapture will happen by taking his video and say he wants to have it both ways. So he wants like get the traffic and make the rapture prediction videos, which yields monetary gain for him being monetized. Okay? Without other Christians going, hey, this is ridiculous. Like these people are going like, this is the day, okay, 100%. And then if the day passes, it's like now they're laughing stock and then they like sacrifice the credibility. And a lot of times they don't make that much money from rapture speculation. Okay, so that's the point. Harold Campbell was a guy who predicted the rapture. The date came and went and the rapture didn't happen. So that's the point. The Bible teaches that no man can know the day or the hour save the Son. Jesus Christ knows the day of God. Now, you can't know what day the rapture is going to happen. That's a simple truth. You will not be able to figure out what day the rapture will happen. And this, like man's pride, is like God says, don't do this and you can't know this. And I feel like I will be as God. I will know spiritual things that God has said man cannot know. Okay. So God has decided not to be able to know what the rapture happen. You won't know the day or the hour. You're not going to be able to know it's going to be this day. Okay. You won't know. I read it all breakers in the videos up to the tune of will September 23, 2023, big day of the rapture. And then the video is like, oh, yeah, so the Jews looked there'd be a blood moon and like a lion will be in the Pisces and this story over here. And also there's a newspaper article about Israel is gonna have a peace agreement or something like this. And it's like, yeah, I'm not saying it's a rapture, but it could be. So it's like he's getting people to feel like if they take his videos, they can figure out what the rapture is gonna happen. And I could tell, like after he made one video, that's one of his like hidden videos, where he got like, if you click his channel and go like popular, and filter his past uploads based on popular, the rapture videos are gonna be top 10. So what I think is like he made one video, it's like wow, like YouTube monetization, whatever those views translate to money, if it's like $5,000 or $15,000, it's like ka-ching, ka-ching, okay, and it's like, if it's not broken or fix it, okay. And where he becomes like a pattern behavior now, where it's like we make raps, recognition videos immediately. Okay. And he gets clicks and he gets money. And he might just warn people in the gospel or somebody. Okay, yeah. He's supposed to be pure. So yeah, anyway, it's the point. Rock break is not only passing total narcissist almost these tactics, and I suspect they did it for the pulpit. Now, if you're a Christian pastor, total narcissist almost these tactics. And what I talk about, that's a way that I'm persecuted by the persecution program. And you start doing it, and you get suspected of being on the talking. Use the false name, okay? Okay. So that's the point. If I would be wrong, okay? So it's like if you dress up like the news in the news hunting season and walk around and forth, okay, in the woods, and you get shot. Okay. Did you feel like you have some responsibility that you really got hit there? Okay. Or like you're talking video out here, this crazy talking like, oh, this is fake, it's like, oh, if you heard of a real thing, that's truth. Well, if you walk talking back like the back, and people go, you're a back, okay. Here's the point. You went back. If a duck cracks in the boots, then there's nobody that can hear it. Doesn't feel like a sound. You would know, okay, to hear it all the people. You would probably hang out in the booth, smoking crack and do duck calls. That's what it would do. That's part like a cold brainwashing. West Lawless, well dressed like a duck or something like that. And you have you dressed like a duck and you all walk the same way and crack. That's okay. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's right. I was watching British underwear hand wash before, so like the internet and everything. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever it's called. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You got dirty underwear. I found a British lady who was making a video on how to clean underwear. Dirty underwear, hand washing. Okay. And yeah. So whatever. There's another thing. Every day shower requests on my shower email. Or people send me shower requests. Some people can ask for showers, if I can shower for friends, or if you don't have. So there are a lot of shower requests for people. And friends go through it all the time. And they're walking about it today, but they're doing a shower. I also had a guy called Jim, okay? And I'm not going to get a full shower right now, I'm going to say it later, but this guy called Jim, somebody asked him if I had okay, the guy has some kind of rash, and yeah, he suffered. So he suffered some kind of disease, some kind of rash or something like this, and his name is Gabe. And he suffered from like a really bored rash, and his friend called him and asked if I could give him a shower to try to stay a little bit, to kind of ease his discomfort for about 4 minutes. He tried to get a shower with him, and rash, and bandage, and like a itchy rash, and all over, and hemorrhoids, too, bloody hemorrhoids. And I thought about it, pausing to give guys a shout out to have a feel of it. So whatever, he's a big fan of my son, flexion videos and videos of flexion shows. So, okay, yeah, whatever. So you can take that there back and cash it in. And just tell him Max I said. you write it down on a piece of paper, and you go to prosecute the city, and you tell them that you think that Mike was making a job to, okay, and you stick that down on it, and see what is the point? Okay, I got to finish up this. Yeah, it's like this bonus for start having a good time. I was working on getting a message out. I got into this and doing myself. So what is the point? Freedom and freedom. Don't let anybody tell you this. So here's the thing. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna give you an actual real example now, okay? I'm gonna give you an actual example, okay? Of an interesting event on the topic of strange things in the neighborhood, okay? I have been harassed by people, cybersocial people online, saying that I'm a Nephilim, okay? Okay, and I believe these people that have been doing this online are work for the problem. But that's one of the the Christian communities. Just Mike is a Nephilim serpent seed. So on Phil's channel and Ed's channel, this guy was acting as like Mike is a Nephilim, a serpent seed. I ever like to say Mike's size serpent seed, Nephilim, not a Greek really doesn't have something like this. Okay. Because that's part of our Mike's acting a community. And possibly we can get some freaks to believe this, okay, and then get them recruited to participate in tolerance, and if they look at him like a demon spawn, it's easier to get to do reading with the stuff then, because you do need the demon underneath it. So that's the point. And then also if you're working for a program that's working to tolerate someone until they die, that's the sin of murder. If you can get them to think the person doesn't have a soul, it's like, well, the person dies, and the program might also be like, they're not saved, they're not a real Christian, okay? So it's like, well, if they're a lost person trying to talk to Christian, you can murder the person. So, well, that's a lost soul going to hell. I'm supposed to be a person like keeping souls out of hell, not helping to send them there, okay? So it might be a hard sell. So if you can get them to think they don't have a soul, so it's like if they die, it's like they don't have a soul anyway. Another thing that I've seen is church that do the reprobate heresy are more likely to be involved in tolerance, which is also something that I can see how if you got a Stephen Anderson, Jack Smith, something like this, two people I talk against all the time, Stephen Anderson, Faithful Word Baptist Church, and Jack Smith, Christian Stalkers. Both of them believe and preach the reprobate heresy, rest of the word reprobate. And they teach that there's a certain type of person that's extra bad, cannot get saved past that point of return, and they say no matter what, they can't get saved, like unsaved or damned, okay? That's a reprobate resting heresy. And obviously that's something if you analyze it, it's like, yeah, if you got a cult of Christians, and you want these Christians to participate in Polish work to destroy somebody's life and then murder them, if you can get them to think like, well, they're like extra bad wicked sins, like a witch or an Nephilim, see, or a Jew in Rome. That's like a rat or a cancer. So it's like there's this really bad thing, dehumanize them. And then also it's like, and if it's like they would have gone to hell anyway, they can't get saved, so they're evil for people. They're bad and they cannot get better. So this is obviously something that's produced to be able to get people to go down and destroy the person. See? So, anyway, the point. Christian ministries being reprobate after the word that okay, for being heretics one. If you're taught video, they obviously have to work this down to get to talk to, because if they believe that there are people that are unsavable, reprobates are like demons, spawn, all this. Now all they gotta do is convince these people that you're that, and now they can tolerate you. So anyway, that's the point. Yeah, so one of the tone texts I got on YouTube in Christian communities, me being a Christian, is people like one person go around saying Mike's a demon, and Nephilim, serpent seed, that's what it's called, a Nephilim, okay? And notice how they will work to enrage you, and I find this interesting. It's like, throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks. And the things that infuriate me get me to lose my mind, like this hurt the most. And what they're going for is work to discredit and make me look unhinged and crazy. So if you, okay, so they're working a lot as in the chat to treat with Nazi strong these tactics to, if I'm calm, more calm than I want to be, and kind of remember things and teaching stuff. If they get, like stab the table like this, that kind of ruined, if it was up at that point, kind of like an academic lecture type video, presentation stuff, was like presenting facts and kind of being calm and not that drawing, okay, and like, or it's stressful in my paper. And then suddenly it's like I lose my mind because of what people like in chat, like okay, like start screaming cuss words. That now I look more irrational, and people might have a hard time believing what I was saying about the culture. A stress state is part of mental illness for real. I mean, people are schizophrenic sometimes are stressed. They're stressed due to delusions. So part of real mental illness is being in a stress state all the time. So if you are stressed, you will be interpreted as people appear to be less sane. Okay, basically. How other humans will read you if you're super stressed, you will appear to be less sane to them. Without cognition, without like, oh, this person is either talking, and the intensity of speech, volume, and body language indicating stress makes me think that it might be insane. No, that's not what's happening. They see you and they just feel real distress nice, okay? And they end up saying something without thinking about it. So that way it's the point. The thing is this. So yeah, I was harassed by people in the chat, in the comment section, Mike's a Nephilim, okay? And that was one of these things. That back then, now if I look at Michael Nephilim and said, I'm likely to lose my mind, okay? But it was something that was one of these things that really, at one time I was mad, like in my YouTube since back, but it's like dehumanizing me, saying I'm a Nephilim, and it's like, this is part of, like, okay, that was really making me mad. So what they will do is like use what bothers you the most and I kind of double out on it. So, interesting enough, what they, part of the politics is called sentiment exit, where like neighbors that was talking, if you told the video, you might notice when you come home, the neighbors take out the trash at the same time as you're arriving home. And the next time you go outside, the same neighbor is opening the door for some reason and walking past as you're going outside. And over time, it can be like, this can't be chance. It's happening too often that I run into this neighbor, like above statistical probability that this frequency of encountering this person would transpire this frequency. It's above chance. It's like if I would flip a coin and get 100 tails in a row. Like this can't be chance. I'll give an example. A lot of the targets, like how you know you're targeting, it's not that you're crazy. The opposite of what they would say, like, oh, you're crazy and paranoid, see, read too much into it. No, you would have to be delusional, crazy to deny it. It'd be like if somebody sent me a link, hey Mark, here's a flip-a-coin website. I did like, I have a website, flip-a-coin, okay? I don't check it out, I go there, I hit flip-a-coin, it's like heads. And I hit flip again, heads. And it's like 37 times now it's been heads every time I click like the virtual online flip-a-coin. And it's like, if I get it to 100, and I have to go like, this is rigged somehow. This is not chancy. Can't be chance. It's very unlikely to be chance, okay? I think my body is this like a troll, okay, something like so he rigged it, it's rigged somehow, where it's like, it's programmed to give tails 99 times in a row or something like this, okay? And that would be insane to think that this is not chance at all. And you'll be delusional and rational to like to flip a coin virtually and have 99 heads in a row. Well, this is chance, okay, I believe. Okay. So it just come like that. So anyway, one of the things that got me the most enraged and mad was one of his prototypes was in Christian community people are saying I'm a Nephilim, not be a human. Okay, I don't have a soul. Things like this. And that's one of the things was like one of the things where I really lost my mind on my YouTube. Just like, it's like slapping the table, it's like say I'm gonna be human kind of stuff, okay? And I come home. It's like as I come up from the elevator, the neighbor opens his door to receive a pizza, I see. And he's wearing a t-shirt that says nothing on it. And this person's often other things that I do. See? This is the type of stuff that can happen in neighborhood. Okay. Yeah. So Another time, as I left, it's like, oh, at the same time leaves as I'm going outside to get in the elevator. Same time as the exit. I mean, at the same time I leave, the same person comes and gets in the elevator, get in the elevator, and he's standing there, he said, on the phone. Okay, and he said, use network. I said, oh, yeah, all right. You know, I do like things that could be direct speech, but like that. Okay. Where it's like part of one of the things I say on the phone now, as a messenger. If I talk to someone, it's like, all right. That's one of the things that I say. Like someone says something, kind of like, I'm gonna eat. All right. See, this one is words that use, like okay, all right. But that person out there said I'm saying all right. Okay. It's like all right. It's like talk to me. Yeah, all right. On the phone. Okay. It's like all right, all right. Yeah, and I'm going to the washing machine. The Lord absolutely my walk, strong lifestyle, or something like this. Like just bizarre behavior, okay? And the different words that I've heard other people use before, and it could be connected to gas value. So what I basically yeah, so GameStop is the most online TS so-called now. And I'm targeted. They recruit 5 monkeys. Can be anybody from my plumber gonna come here to a dentist. I got a portal book to a cab driver, people in the neighborhood. They recruit people to be sort of 5 monkeys targeted with abuse. Different types of abuse. Could be, remember, it's not this bullying. Okay? It's not just narcissistic abuse, psychological warfare. There's also physical type of conflicts. So one help we got after many years of being targeted is allergies to perfume. And now they start using it as a weapon, where they tell people to spray perfume on themselves, and then they get close to it, like in the supermarket. It's like an augmentation of the practice. Like part of the experience is going to the supermarket shopping, and they have people acting weird around it. And now sometimes you're standing looking at like cheese or something you're going to buy. The somebody comes there, there's a fine line for the program, and like stands next to the our kind of mirrors that look there, and they smell like that spray themselves like perfume right before leaving home, that guy. And different things where for sure they have done that several times, using perfume as like a weapon, right? Because I'm going to perfume. Also when I had a cab book, if you book something in advance, it's easier. Where it's a target, and what we're going to give some time. I had booked a cab, maybe it was my birthday, something like this, and like 3 days in one advance. It's like, let's say it was noon, like 12, okay. It was booked a cab to leave outside. And it's like 11:55, I'm leaving, okay. Then I open the elevator, and it's things like somebody's like sprayed perfume, and they'll drop cologne on the floor. Nothing on the wall. It's like weeks on the floor. It's different types of this came down to them. So these are not the only ways the poker is targeting physically. This poker is targeting physically. The issue is this. Despite all of the targeting, I'm in better shape mentally and physically than the average person. And energetic and athletic to the point where people accuse me of being on drugs, like meth or crack or something like this. I gotta end the stream. I'm gonna like to go live again. Another way to target is to get YouTubers. If I subscribe to YouTube, a lot of times you get the YouTubers uploading the videos with Narcissist Stories abuse tactics. I gotta finish up.